Hi guys, I am Nu-Trix the Synth Guy, and today we're talking about the Polyend Tracker. I gotta be honest, never worked with a tracker before. I know what they are. I've been following people using them in the 90s. Yeah, I'm that old. But I never been into tracking itself. Just so that people understand what a tracker is, it used to be a software. Now it exists in a hardware fashion. A tracker is basically like a MIDI sequencer, but it is made to trigger its own sample or wavetable. And it's basically because in the 90s, computers were not fast enough, powerful enough. It's still used today in some video games because it's very light, it's very efficient. So the tracker is very powerful in a way, but also very limited in a different way. Like you've got many tracks, but all the tracks are monophonic, because they trigger one sample or one generator, if you want, because it could be something else in sample. It could be granular synthesis, could be it could be FM also, depending on the tracker. I mean, some trackers today are as powerful as any other DAW, but the logic is that you have one track for one monophonic sound. So if you want to have polyphonic sound, you would need to play different tracks, or you would need to sample a chord and play that on the first note, and then on the second note trigger a different sample. And that's what really where the tracker is powerful, is that every step you can trigger a different sample. So let's say you've got a drum track. Well, it's monophonic, so you can go from kick, snare, hi-hat, whatever you want, but it means that every step you put in, you would trigger a different sample. So it's when you start using it, it's different, if you're not used to it. If you're used to tracker, a Polyend Tracker, you're going to go, well, it's a software in the box and it does what it's supposed to be doing. And if you're not used to tracking, it could be difficult to do the conversion, or you could love it. It depends, but it forces you to think in a different way. And it took me a while to say, okay, this is how it works. My first understanding was like, why? But then it's just like, okay, it's different. Now, tracking is really popular with people who want to play with samples, because that's what it's really powerful for. So in this little box, you can sample stuff, you can edit it, you can modify it, and there's stuff that they call effect, but like you'll see, effects are not, well, you can have reverb and delay, but when they talk about effect, it affects you, I would say like MIDI effects. You're affecting the way you're playing the note, the key, the step. So these are musical effects, not sound effects or processing. They're mostly the way the note's going to be triggered. So glitching, electronic stuff could be really cool with this. But again, it's a per step function, and it's a top to bottom, readout of the notes. So I feel like you're working in a DAWS software, but it's not bad. It's just, again, different. Now, if we talk about the hardware itself, this little thing runs off, first of all, it's metallic. It looks to be metal, very sturdy, very solid, still very light. The screen is not tactile screen. It's just basically a cool LCD screen. All these knobs, except these are pads, are little pads here, can be used to play, can be used to go quickly between value. When you're entering value here, instead of turning the knob, you can actually go from the minimum value to the maximum value, really quickly. Everything is mechanical. These are mechanical switches. These are plastic. Here, listen to that. So this is like very, hard plastic. It goes with the style of what it is. It's a tracker. What's cool at the back, you have, well, power by USB. Okay, and it doesn't need a lot of power, so you can use a telephone battery to charge this and run it from the battery, and you get a mobile setup. You get an output that is also for headphones. You get a line in, you get a mic in. Remember, this is also a sampler, and this is mostly what it does, modify samples. It also has an FM radio. Yeah. But basically to sample and create stuff off. You get MIDI in and out, these little, breakout to, standard MIDI. You got a micro SD card, so you can save your stuff in it. sample N songs, patterns, and stuff like that, and get the power. So very simple, very efficient. So let's actually dive in and see if I can do something with that. Let's say I'm going to go into File, New Project, Don't Save. I'm going to have a new project. Now, you can actually do your own sample. You can sample your own stuff. You got line in, radio, you got mic. I'm going to go radio. When you click this, now this becomes the controller for that. Try to find something that will not. I'm in Montreal, so I'm going to get some stuff in French.
It's Mr. Orlando.
Where should I put the presents, Mr. Orlando?
Under the tree is
Okay, so you get this. Now, I play it.
Orlando.
under the tree is
Orlando.
under the tree
Orlando.
under the tree.
Crop. I'm going to crop the beginning. So I'm going to have, and I'm going to go like here. There you go. I'm going to save that. Okay, whatever. Save this. Save and load. Now it's loaded. It's in memory. So we're going to see a little bit more, because the way it works, you need to load your sample you need to use in that song. So I can actually go in and I'm going to say, I'm going to enter this, enter, say, okay, I'm going to go with Lego Welt, bass, enter, say, I'm going to take this one. Sorry, I just erased mine. I just loaded in instead of mine. Okay, let's do this again. Okay, add and switch to the next one. Let's load with this one. Enter. So it's here. Where's my sample? Recordings. Here we go. These are stuff I got from the radio. You can hear that. I like this one because you have this little change in. So I'm going to go add this one. I just erased the one I had. Oh, damn it. Okay, so now I have these sounds. I've got. So these are the sound I loaded in. Okay, so these are samples. So we have our samples, and we have the tracks. Track 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, up to 8. Now remember, if I just select here, I'm going to go instrument, and I can actually select the one I want. I'm going to say, well, I want this one, or I want to have this one, or this one. And I press. I can preview them, because I can take any of these sounds and put them in the first track. So I'm going to put that note. I'm going to record it. And I'm going to go one, actually not this one. So I'm going to this one, 13th, this one, and that's going to be hit. Instrument, it's going to be, I want to have another kick. So this. No. Instrument, 1/2, 4. Okay, that's the instrument I want. I want to have this. No, it's going to be instrument 6. I can just change the instrument like that. So when I play this, okay, second one here, this is going to be the hi-hat. Okay, let's go hi-hat. I said hi-hat was this thing here. Note. Okay. Now, something that is really cool you can have here is what they call the effects. And the effects, there's many things. You can change the volume, the panning, the microtune. These are not really effects. These are more like how the song's going to be, how the sample is going to be able to play. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to say roll, for example. So you hear these rolling. And then there's something else that is pretty cool. I'm going to say the other, actually, it's still here. There's going to be another effect, and it's going to be chance. It's going to be chance. Chance is basically how much chance this has to actually play. If I play 38, there's like 38% that this is going to play. So then this sequence is never exactly the same every time it plays. If I go, well, it's going to be 97% to play. Or I'm going to say, well, it's going to be 74% that it can play. And some will be 48, maybe 4. So then this hi-hat becomes different every time it plays. So, that's it. So this is really just kind of a randomizing. And that's the part that is kind of the probability that is pretty cool into this sequencer. So let's actually, I'm going to stop this. And then I'm going to go into edit the sample that I did earlier. Not this one. Let's go back to pattern. This new one would be the one Toute la magie, which is a... I like the ch. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to go sample edit. And we have this, okay? When you go start, I like this thing here. So I'm going to move this here. And the end, I'm going to change the end. Not zoom, but end. So look at this. You go, well, what's this? Well, actually, now we can go here and say, well, I want to have some bit crusher on this thing. Select effect. I want to have bit crusher at, it's going to be a little bit noisy. I'm going to go process, and I can listen. Apply. Okay, so I'm going to take this thing, and what I'll do, I'm going to go into sample playback, and I'm going to change, I'm going to be ping pong loop. So I'm going to go start. The loop start is going to be here. Loop end is going to be here. It's going to be my sample. Yeah, I know it's bizarre. Or you can also go here and go so wavetable. So this becomes now a wavetable. And you can decide where it's in. And you can have a smaller window. So it's easy to create something very unique, well, granular. Let's say the shape of your grain, move forward and backward, ping pong, and the length. I'm going to go let's keep this one. Okay, so then we go back into our pattern, and then we have the instrument. I'm going to go note. Okay, just like bizarre stuff. Instant bizarre stuff. And again, chance. I'm going to go. And what else could I put in? I'm going to put panning. Just going to play around with the panning. And this comes from a radio, this little part. Okay, this is bizarre, but hey. That's what we do now. Bizarre stuff. If I want to change this, I can do something else. I can say, well, you know, when you go back to the sounds I add, instrument, well, there was also these two bass that was cool. So I could switch between 1, 2, and 3 in the instrument part. So it could be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, and then you go. This is like just, you're switching between samples now on top of everything else. So that's a little bit of how it works. Of course, there's a lot more in it, but I mean, sampling, editing, instrument parameter, you can actually play a little bit. You get, you know, fine tuning. You can use different type of filters. It's the song itself. There's patterns, and you can load these patterns. So all of these tracks, these 8 tracks, are pattern 1, and then you can have pattern 2 and 3 and 4, and then you can build your song like that, basically. Instrument parameter. Send this reverb. We're at toute la magie. Okay. Let's say I'm going to do this one here, and this one's going to be sent to the delay. Go instrument, go say the hi-hat. Where was my hi-hat? This one here. And I'm going to go, it's going to be bend pass. That's it. Now this is just a weird song. But then again, if you look at it, you have 2 windows. You press again in instrument parameter, another window, and then we get volume, panning, cutoff, and then you have the envelope. So you can actually go in, and the panning can have an envelope also, the cutoff can have an envelope, the wavetable position, and that's a cool thing. So that's it. That's the Polyend Tracker. That's me, not a tracker. Try to, you know, do something with that. And again, it's for people who love to play with sample, mangle, twisted, and it's a different approach. The fact that every track is monophonic forces you to think in a different way. It's not a bad thing, it's just a different thing. So for those who are into tracker, or want to try tracker, or just like love to play with samples, this is a quick way to use this and to do that. So it takes a while to understand how to go through the menu. When you know how to do it, you can go really quickly. And if you want to know more about other tips on Polyend Tracker, I put some videos to follow and other people who did a great job at explaining what this does. So have fun. See you soon. Stay safe. Make more music. Cheers.